Hello dear listener, it is time for the VR Shiz show once again. The snap crackle and garbage came back, but only for the last 3 minutes of the show. So I had to use Vince's voice from the other mic, or make your ears bleed. I chose the former. Enjoy this wonderful show for your ears.
Welcome back, one and all, to the VR Shiz show. I picked the worst time because I'm about to sneeze.
I'm Vince.
We're going to just leave that in.
And that's Richard.
Yeah, it's Richard, the R in VR. I forgot what I was going to say. I had something in my mind, but that sneeze just took everything.
Well, we usually start off with media consumed, so if you want, we can just...
That is true.
Media consumed.
So, you want to start us off for that, or I can start us off?
Yeah, actually, we can talk about a shared one, because I did get to play a little bit of the game that we were playing. Actually, do you want to do the shared one? We can do individuals and then talk about the shared one after.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was playing, the spin-off to the XCOM series Chimera Squad. I had bought it because I saw that it was coming out on the PC, and I was like, I have a PC now, I can get it. It's definitely more stylistically different than the regular XCOM games that are now.
Okay.
You can't just do character creation anymore. It's like an actually like very condensed character story.
All right.
Still maintaining a lot of the combat elements and stuff like that. You're basically like a police force in XCOM, but it's set like a few years after the second one, where a lot of the aliens were still left behind, and you're at a city that is basically aliens, hybrids, and humans all living together in harmony. And you're trying to uphold the peace because there's like a big conspiracy going around to kind of reignite a second war, per se, between the aliens and the humans.
Interesting.
So
is it the same gameplay of...
Yes, same gameplay. But the thing is, it's like, it feels like Joss Whedon like wrote a lot of the dialogue, because a lot of it's like very snappy and stuff.
It's got that vibe.
Yeah, which I don't mind, but not every character has to be like that. It's okay to have just a person who shoots straight and plays straight, you know. You don't have to have 34 Tony Starks in one room.
It says you.
I don't know, it gets tiring, man.
Yeah.
But overall, I think the overall mechanics of the game were tightened a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the extra elements that they added, because you're focused on one specific city as opposed to like the whole world. Okay. So there's a different type of micromanaging in it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do enjoy that. The robots in there that you have to fight besides the hybrids and humans, they just look like Chappie. Which I was excited about, and because usually you can add them to your team, but then I was disappointed when I found out that you can only add them to your team if one of your teammates is downed, and you pull him out, and then he just comes in. Yeah, I know. I was like, I really wanted a Chappie bot, and the game told me no, so I'm just gonna have to go to regular XCOM for that. But it was fun.
That's good. That's good. Is there still the nice BS of your 2 feet in front of something and then it misses?
I had a 93% chance to shoot someone 5 feet away with a shotgun, and it missed from my best character. And then on top of that, that miss caused me to fail that mission. And the difference is, when you fail missions in this game, it's complete game over.
Yeah.
You're forced to restart. So I was like, sick. This one's like very day by day, so I did like a week and a half at that point, and I'm like, this is a lot of progress. And the game told me, yeah, guess what, you have to start over again.
Nice.
So you still get that same tomfoolery that, you know, the enemies have like a 65% chance to hit you, and they somehow headshot you from halfway across the map with like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you nuke them at point blank range and you still miss.
Yeah.
So, you know, same unfair mechanics that still feel great when you do manage to get a good play.
All right. I'm still going to have to dive into XCOM. It's in my Steam to-do list.
Yes, I'm also playing the XCOM in your library. Just letting you
So
know.
you're glad that I bought it for you then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get it because I want to get Enemy Within, which is the
Yeah.
update, which is I think is a lot better.
Okay.
But I will say, after playing it on PC, using the mouse for the most part is a lot better, save for when you have to throw grenades.
Okay. Because I was like, you had me play XCOM 2 a long while ago when you
Yeah.
brought your PS4 over.
Mhm.
And I was using that, and I'm like, whoa, this is so bizarre to control.
Yep.
Because in any kind of tactics game, I just like click the thing, do the thing. And it's so much easier that way.
When you do play it, just be wary of the grenades, because honestly, that was awful trying to throw a grenade, because it's so sensitive that like you move it slightly and then the game just goes like it throws it back. Like you don't throw it, but it just, the reticle changes. You go like 80 feet farther, and you're just like, cool, I'm going to throw this grenade on my teammates now if I click this button. That's the only awful aspect of it, which is why I prefer the controller, but only for that aspect. Everything else is so much easier on a mouse.
So do you do what I do for Red Dead, which is use mouse and keyboard for the same game? Have them both plugged in?
Just in case, yes.
Yeah. Because for me, in Red Dead, controlling your player is so much nicer with a mouse and keyboard, for aiming and everything.
Yeah.
And then if you're riding your horse, it's just nice to use a controller.
Yeah.
So I literally have both of them right there.
Just in case.
Depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, for me, I will say it's mostly just been more Spelunky 2.
Mm-hmm.
I am reliably making it to the second world,
Yes.
which is a marginal improvement, 25 hours in.
It's progress.
Progress is progress.
Yes.
So hopefully I'll beat the game one day. We'll see. It's a lot harder, and I still hate the stupid moles in the first world. They are garbage, and Derek, you should have never added them. I hate you. But beyond that, something I watched a little while ago, I found out that Clone High, the entire series, is on YouTube.
I've been meaning to watch that, by the way,
Because
you told me.
stupid dust, man. Sneezing and dust. Apparently I have the corona. Official diagnosis right here, right now. I didn't get a test. With you.
I'm gonna get the coof now.
The coof?
The coof. That's what my cousin calls it. He calls it the coof.
That's my favorite term for it. I like yeah. We're just gonna move on.
The kung flu.
Yeah, that one. But I just stuttered over my words to the point where I'm just like, no, I'm giving up.
We're giving up on
There is no more joke. The point is past.
The funny thing is, if we ever get to the point where this can get monetized, we're immediately going to get this one demonetized just for saying the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious.
I mean, don't you have to have like 10,000 subs for monetization?
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about it for a little bit.
I don't think ever, Vince. I am not as optimistic as you are.
You never know.
But, yeah, back to Clone High. Because of all the memes, I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. I haven't seen it in long while, because I had watched it a couple episodes here and there sparingly, but it had been so long that I'd forgotten basically everything except the characters.
Yeah.
And so the memes reminded me, and I'm like, all right, let's see. Turns out the entire first season, which is all that there is on YouTube for free, especially if you use AdBlock. Don't use it on our videos, though, even though we don't get money for them.
Fair.
Anyway, but the show is hilarious. Like, the comedy is so well written, because do you know who's behind it?
I don't know who.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did things like the Lego Movie. They did Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, so they're repeatedly just putting out really consistent.
They are incredible writers.
I did get to see that one clip of the actual race where the nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys, that one.
Yes.
That's the one thing that I saw, but I saw the race in its entirety.
Uh-huh.
That made me laugh, and when I realized that it was an actual presidential race on top of it, it was probably one of the smartest jokes I've seen in a while, and I was laughing for like a good 10 minutes just at that whole
That's
skit.
the entire show, is just really well-written comedy. Like, it's a shame that India decided to go on a hunger strike because of a character, Gandhi, in the show.
Really? I didn't know that.
That's how it got canceled.
That's lame.
Yeah, it's garbage because apparently having 2 assassinated presidents doesn't faze the U.S. in making literally nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
Yeah.
And yet we can't make fun of Gandhi, who literally was a party animal in his college years.
And also a racist.
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
But they're okay with Civ? They're okay with Civ Gandhi?
I guess. I don't know. Look,
I
Gandhi with nukes is appropriate. Gandhi drinking non-alcoholic beer is far too absurd.
Wait, non-alcoholic beer?
Yeah.
That's the reason they got mad.
No, the entire portrayal of the character, they were just like, he's so terrible. How dare you? He has like ADHD in the show and all of this other stuff.
I mean, yeah, because obviously the American presidents that were also shown in that were clearly represented with complete accuracy as well, right?
Yeah. But regardless, with the show, it's so well written, and apparently if the show didn't get canceled, they were going to address it and basically say, turns out it wasn't a clone of Gandhi, it was a clone of Gary Coleman.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah. And they had like some teasers and stuff in the show that like would have made sense with the
second season.
With even the first season, there was like an accidental thing where it was some photo that Gandhi had and it was misaddressed to Gary.
Oh, that would have been...
Yeah.
Oh, well. Rip good shows that are out before their time.
Yeah.
I still miss Chowder.
Yeah, Chowder got a send-off at least. This
Yeah.
show literally ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh, that's so sad.
Which is hilarious because the way that the cliffhanger ends, I'm not going to spoil a almost 20-year-old show that's getting rebooted.
For some reason. Wait, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my, did the memes revive it?
They got announced in July, so it was kind of around the time the memes were a little bit taking off, but not as big as they were, I'd say,
now.
a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the show is getting rebooted, but I hope they literally just carry it off literally from right where season 1 ends, because the way season 1 ends is so perfect that it's literally you could just pick up right then and there in the modern day.
It's the only thing that scares me about that stuff is because of how PC everything is now.
Yeah.
I
I still trust Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yeah, no.
Even like their modern stuff, like Into the Spider-Verse is the greatest Spider-Man movie, and I will fight tooth and nail for that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I still have to.
You keep saying that.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things that I need to keep. I need to actually watch that I haven't. For now, Spider-Man 2 is still the best Spider-Man movie to me, but I think that is probably going to be until I watch Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. How do you feel about what is his name? Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
He is my second favorite Spider-Man. I don't think he's incredible. I think he does give some nuance to the character. He is a decently good actor, and I think he was perfect for the Marvel verse. But overall, I don't know. I like Tobey Maguire. I know that's...
See, I like Tobey, but he just didn't feel like Spider-Man for me, you know?
That's fair.
Like, Tom Holland feels far more like high schooler web slinger than...
Spider-Man, yeah.
Than Tobey Maguire. You look at this guy...
But we can agree that Andrew Garfield is the worst of the three, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I just want to make sure. As long as we agree on that, I don't care.
Andrew Garfield felt neither like Peter Parker nor like Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire felt a bit more like Spider-Man, and Tom Holland definitely feels a bit more like Peter Parker.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's how I view it, and if you can nail Peter Parker, you inherently do a pretty solid job as Spider-Man, I'd say.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, the rumor is, and I don't know if it's a rumor, if it ever got confirmed or whatever, is that Tobey Maguire is going to be in Spider-Verse 2.
If he doesn't say it's pizza time, I'm going to be really sad.
That's all you need?
That's all I need. I will rate it the greatest movie of all time if I get Tobey Maguire back.
Of course. But yeah, I 100% trust Phil Lord and Chris Miller to make the reboot.
Actually, I don't think I'm doing anything this Saturday. I should probably watch it on Saturday and then give a review for next week's show.
We'll do that.
That'd be good.
Yeah. And then keeping in media consumed, we can talk about what we did on Saturday, because that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I actually did mention a little bit earlier. We did a LAN party.
Yeah, dude.
Which was my first one ever, because now I have a computer. So, yeah, definitely my first one. And we did play Rocket League, but I do want to touch more on the one game that, again, is one of my favorite series of all time, and it was really cool to actually play it with other people. Civ 5.
Yes. So that was interesting. I mean, first of all, I think we have to preface the difficulty of LAN parties, because this was my second one. I had done another one for a friend's birthday years and years and years ago. And it was really cool because we did kind of the same games. I think we did Rocket League and Civ because that's all we could do because nobody else had any other games.
Yeah.
And this was even before Rocket League was free, like I said, years and years and years ago. But with that, it was, both of them shared the commonality of, man, trying to get the LAN to connect sucks.
That was an issue that we had with Rocket League.
For some reason, Rocket League, I mean, it took a while to make sure everyone was on the network, first of all.
Yeah.
That for some reason we had to disable all of our firewalls, all of this other garbage, and it was a whole ordeal that we had to figure out. After that, Rocket League still wouldn't work, but I could do a party with all of us.
Yeah,
so
which
it was
hilarious.
literally sending all 6 of us to a server to send us all back.
Yep.
Because it's not like we were interfacing with anyone else. So it was literally this garbage nonsense.
It's literally just LAN with extra steps. That's practically what it was.
Yes. It was WLAN, wide local area network.
Yeah. And then we had issues with Civ.
Oh, Civ was...
Fantastic.
Civ worked better initially, and then we figured out problems. It turns out not everyone had disabled or allowed access for Civ.
Which is weird, because mine did, but then it asked me again. So I was like, sick.
I don't know, dude.
But I mean, overall, once we got the game going, it was really smooth.
Yes. It was fantastic to play because, again, Civ with people is infinitely better than Civ against bots.
Yeah.
And Civ against people that you can look over your screen and yell at, hey, stop it, makes it even better.
The chat was popping off. I think in the long run, adding 80 million barbarians that just randomly respawn.
Look, I was against adding barbarians into the game.
I was fine with it, but I didn't realize the scope.
It was regular spawn of barbarians, too. I didn't tweak spawn rates for them.
That's awful.
That's just how garbage barbarians are, and I hate them. And it literally made it so that the first 60 to 70 turns of the game for everyone was literally just, hold on, I gotta deal with these barbs real quick.
I think mine was the worst, because I had about 4 or 5 barbarian camps around me, and I tried to get settlers out like about 3 or 4 times, and every single time I got somewhere, the barbarians just told me no.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, sick. I finally managed to build a second city, which I was really happy about.
Nice.
At, like, I think... Did we hit AD yet? I think we hit AD.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I finally made a second city in AD.
Nice.
I couldn't do it until that point. Which, I do plan on making a third city. Do you want to explain your civilization really quick and your wonderful religion?
Oh, yeah. So I was Polynesia with a number of great cities, all of them references to...
mine are also references,
yes.
But we'll go on.
So, as Polynesia, the island collective, I was... my first city...
My first city?
My first city, excuse me, was Angry Samoans, named after the hardcore punk icons Angry Samoans.
Yes.
My second city was Samoa Joe.
Yes, after, I would say probably the most solid Samoan wrestler of all time, but that's just...
And then I don't think you were aware of my third city, but I just named it Dwayne.
The Rock Johnson, yes.
No, not The Rock Johnson. It was just Dwayne.
Wait, isn't that what is that?
It was named after him, but I just named the city Dwayne because I didn't want to fit the rest of it.
Yeah, so no, of course. It's long.
Yeah.
His name is very long.
So it was just the city of Dwayne. They were starving for a while.
Have you seen The Rock? That man must eat a lot. Like, no wonder they're starving.
Yeah.
They probably have the same consumption rate.
I'm sure. But,
fantastic.
Yeah, then I was going on religion pretty hard. Like, I founded the first pantheon and the first religion. And eventually my religion became known as Gamers in Boats.
Yep.
Because, we are Polynesia, the island seafaring nation, so we are gamers in boats.
Yes. Let's go, gamers.
Yes.
Rise up, gamers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to ask, is your religion filled with racists and misogynists?
We can only assume.
Okay, yeah, 'cause they are gamers. They are real gamers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sick.
I mean, it is the capital city of angry Somala, so.
Yeah, that's fair. They probably have a lot to be angry about.
Yeah.
So, I like how we're basically two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Because mine are just filled with references, but I think mine are far worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, I decided to play as the Japanese after attempting to play as the Zulu, and the game just didn't go well when we were trying to connect. You didn't see what the original name was for my city, and I'm going to save it. Whenever we complete this game and end up playing a different one, I will show you.
Vince, I have only had one Civ game completed and end in less than an hour.
That's fair.
Or less than 8 hours.
I'm willing to play the game with you over the internet if we ever find time for it.
I mean, we're going to do more LAN parties.
Yeah, I'm 100%
sure.
up for it.
But the only game that ever ended, and it ended in about 5 minutes, again, due to barbarians, because
That's
I was playing with my buddy Kyle. I send out a settler because I'm like, well, Polynesia, I'm landlocked at the moment. Let's go find an ocean. I take a step. My barbarians capture that settler, and I lose the game.
Yeah.
In turn 8.
Yep. That's what happens. That's what happened to me the entire time until I finally got a lucky break because I found out that there was another nation around me.
Yeah.
Joe really helped me out. And he doesn't know that I'm going to stab him in the back later.
Oh, don't worry. I was going to stab everyone in the back.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to get down to me and you.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling you and I are just going to take everyone out, but out of spite, if I can get a culture victory with my religion that I will name right now, that is surprisingly spreading a lot faster than I thought I would, and I think it's hilarious. But yeah, so Japanese city, I named my first city Omewamua, because the next one's
yes.
it was named Shindaru.
Yeah.
It really did feel like I was already dead, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what that means in Japanese, because of the 50 million barbarians that decided to spawn.
Yeah.
And on top of it, Joe actually settled where I had attempted to go 4 different times, and I was just really sad because I was like, cool, he does it with no difficulty. Meanwhile, I'm struggling to even get people over there. That's great. It's fine. It's great. But so I realized that, oh yeah, this is one of the good Civ games, which means I can create a religion and tweak it how I want to. So, as a joke, I created the religion because it's Japanese, and I'm using Japanese references. Anime thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And it spread really fast. I'm actually really scared at how fast it spread.
You were not spread?
Anime, yes, I am making anime thigh spread, and my missionaries could not be any happier.
That was another issue, is that my stupid missionary for Gamers in Boats broke, and he couldn't spread religion. He was just wandering around and couldn't do his action. I'm like, cool, that's great.
No, that's the hilarious part, because I was able to use my missionary like 4 times. And I spread it to Joe's, and now it is the official religion of his. And I got one of the buffs that if another nation follows your major religion, I think it adds happiness and gold to your cities. So I'm just like, sick, dude. I'm actually making a good amount of money now and have like relative happiness because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of the city-states around me are now devout followers of anime thighs, which is one of the funniest things because I'm like, I'm going to do this as a joke, but it's not going to go well. And then it spreads like wildfire, and I'm really scared now because I'm just like, crap, I'm going to have to build like a pope. Just an anime thigh pope. It's going to be great. But because that is the way I'm going to play the game. I'm not going to go for a domination victory. That's I'm not going to be Guillermo and be at $0 the entire game because my military is 85 million people.
Yeah, our buddy Guillermo did go hardcore on the army very first thing.
Yeah. Which is one of the funniest things because his military is the strongest in the game.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's also behind the most technologically.
Yeah.
And probably city-wise.
Yes.
Oh, I ended up getting a third city. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you know that, but I actually managed to establish a third city.
Nice.
And I named it Muda Muda. So, yeah, I'm thinking about what my fourth city will be. I'm gonna stop at 4 because I know it's harder after that. I think 4 is usually the golden number for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But good stuff. We probably spent a huge amount of time on just media consumption.
Yeah. Granted, we spent a lot of time in the
general.
games and things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm also looking forward when we do future LAN parties with other games, like Halo.
Yeah.
Because I found out that Halo, the Master Chief Collection on Steam, does LAN. And I'm like, ooh, that looks good. And then you mentioned Burnout Paradise, and I'm like, ooh, that looks good.
Burnout. I do want to eventually do Gears. A lot of people don't like Gears of War. I love Gears of War.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one supports LAN, but I do know it supports co-op. So
We'll
And
do something.
One of them has 4-player co-op, so I can only imagine how awful we would all be playing that game together.
I've seen Funhouse play it. It is atrocious to watch because I'm like, good grief, you people are dying a lot.
The game is actually hard.
Yeah.
I managed to beat the first and second game with my cousin because I just one day he was like, hey, do you want to spend the weekend at my house? And I was like, sick. What are we playing? He's like, I have Modern Warfare 2. And I'm like, sick. So we played that for like an hour. And I was like, all right, do you have anything else? And he was like, yeah, I have this game called Gears of War. And I was like, sick, I'll play it with you. And then we beat it together. It took us like 12 hours, but we beat it together.
Jeez.
And I was on normal difficulty. Granted, I'm a much better player now, which is to say I'm still awful.
Yeah.
Just better.
Yeah.
But
It's like me at Spelunky.
I mean, but I think if I went up against Spelunky or Spelunky 2 compared to you, I would fare.
I mean, how many platformers do you play?
Platformers are probably the games I play the least.
Exactly.
Which is weird to think about now. Yeah, actually, probably the ones I play the least.
Mm-hmm.
But we can actually segue into the next part of it.
Yeah, so I thought, staring at all the garbage in my room, what if we talked about collectibles? Because I collect a lot of things and have gone down a rabbit hole many a time and spent far too much money on far too many things.
Fair. I just recently started collecting, but I have spent fat money in a short amount of time. So
I told you not to. I told you not to get into collecting things like I do, Vince.
It's funny though, and now that I'm gonna have my own room, I'm actually gonna be able to put them however I want. So
yes,
that's I think that's my favorite part
yes.
of it. But all right, do you want to start us off, or you want me to start it?
I mean, you've mentioned that you've only really just started to collect things.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of things that I collect, and I feel like mine will go longer.
Do you want me to start us off?
Yeah, we'll have you going.
Well, obviously, I think the first thing that I started officially collecting was Amiibos, because Smash. Watching, like, Choctopus and Alphared, even Little Z doing their stuff with Amiibos, I was like, hey, I can do that. That's great. And then the first Amiibo I ever bought was actually a Little Mac Amiibo. I was really excited. Then I realized I'm supposed to train these things not myself and not use a computer, so I had to retrain him. But eventually, I think I have about 40 of them now. I do plan on trying to get every single one in the roster, but some of them are a lot harder to get than others.
Yeah. I when Amiibos first came out, I was adamant that, I'm going to get them all. Then they just kept making more of them. Like, never mind.
I'm only getting the ones related to Smash, because I think in terms of Smash, they have the most usage out of other games.
Even then, I thought I was going to get all the Smash ones, and then, again, it was like, nope.
I mean, there's about 80-something at this point, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, are you going to get the Minecraft Steve Amiibo?
We'll see.
I'm definitely
I probably
getting
will.
It. Even if I'm not going to play Steve that much, I'm still getting it.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the shelf that I keep all of the Amiibo on.
Yeah.
There's not much room for any more.
Fortunately, because I'm starting off, I'll have a lot of room.
Yeah.
The other thing I do collect, which is significantly more expensive than
This is the
Amiibos.
one that I warned you against because I'm like, you can commit to Amiibos. Those are $15 a pop.
Yeah, $30 at most for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But these are not. They're probably 3 times. The average is 3 times the amount that I spent on the most expensive Amiibo I've ever gotten.
Yep.
I think my Aqua and Monokuma ones are probably my most expensive ones. But Nendoroids. So Nendoroids are those little, like, they're almost like chibi-like figures of a lot of anime things.
Yeah.
Now, they do have Nendoroids of, like, video game series and stuff like Kratos and whatnot from God of War. And those are significantly cheaper because they are an American product. Therefore, they're not as niche.
Yep.
But the anime ones, I got a Haru Okumura one. You know that I run that Instagram. It's basically built around her. That one cost me about $90 with shipping. The Aqua one cost me. I managed to find it for $90, so that one was good. The Monokuma one cost me about $100. The Deku one cost me about $50. The Shield Hero one cost me about $80. Raftalia cost me about $90. Ritsu cost me about $90. Am I missing any other ones? I don't think so. So altogether, those like 7 or 8 that I have cost more than all of my Amiibos put together, and I have about 40 Amiibos. It's kind of ridiculous.
Terrible.
Look, man, I enjoy it.
I know you do. That's the problem.
And okay, and then the Takagi one is coming out next year, and I'm 110% buying that. I don't care. I don't care.
The only Nendoroid that I ever got, I got Hanzo from Overwatch.
That's I remember.
And I've been trying to sell it because I never really wanted it, but it was just a Nendoroid that was only like $15 or something. So I'm like, oh, I can resell this. Nendoroids are expensive. People will buy this even at sale for like $30. And no, it turns out when I stopped playing Overwatch, I forgot that everyone else did as well.
Stop playing Overwatch, yeah.
And so, yeah, that one's been just sitting, rotting.
I know, you've been asking me. You asked me a few times, like, hey, it's right there. Right? I'm like, I've never played Overwatch, my guy. I can't. But the other thing that I had talked to you about before that I'm going to start collecting, which will be very short. Actually, no, it won't because I thought about everything else. The Godzilla movies.
Oh, yes.
But I was talking about that's going to extend into the other thing that I'm collecting is once I'm done collecting the Godzilla movies, I'm going to start in Blu-ray, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm going to start collecting the anime that I genuinely enjoy in Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. Now, can I watch them on my favorite streaming services for $7.99 a month? Yes, I can. Would I rather watch them in Blu-ray with all of their special features? I'm going to.
Yeah.
Because if I genuinely enjoy a series that much, I should be able to support it just fine.
Yeah.
Which I think also helps the industry in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Really hoping for Konosuba Season 3.
See, for me, basically all the Blu-ray that I have is stuff that you can't stream, which is why I own, aside from how much I love it, Mad Max.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I don't have a ton of Blu-rays compared to what you intend to buy.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I
mean, transitioning into how awful collecting is and how much it destroys you. I've collected many a thing. I've collected, I think I mentioned Bakugan and Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh! And why I can't play card games anymore.
Yes. I had talked to you about Magic and you told me a hard no and explained why, and I was like, understandable.
Yeah, I've poured hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into Yu-Gi-Oh! Over how long I played it, and I'm like, nope, no more card games. I'm done.
I'm really tempted to buy that stupid kaiju one for, what's it called? For Magic the Gathering.
Vince, I will come over and kill you.
I had contemplated it, but I don't even play the game enough to justify that purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I played it for like a few months with like Garrett and Brian and stuff, and I had a genuinely good time. But I'm not very much a cardman guy.
Mm-hmm.
They're just there, and I'd rather use them to play, and I can't.
Yeah. But other things that I collect.
Which I can see here.
I mean, there's just everything that I can just look around the room and see. Started off probably first and foremost with pin collecting. Like, I used to collect all of the Disney pins as a kid, like going...
Oh, pin collecting is fun, though. Pins and patches are fantastic.
I'm going to get into patches once I finally get a stupid jacket, but the design that I want at Levi's is never in stock ever.
That's the one you were telling me about,
And
I
it's
remember.
garbage, because I know Levi's always does sales, and I'm like, hey, get this in stock, on sale, you turds. But yeah, no, I collect a lot of pins, to the point where I realized I needed somewhere to put them all, because I now have a pin board that I built a couple of years back. So I just have that to stick all of my pins onto, but I gave up on collecting Disney pins because at this point, I mean, I honestly hate Disney, which is, a fair opinion, especially after things with, Mulan.
I think the last, year has just been really awful. Again, I lost all my faith after Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
And then Mulan was just the second nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be what it was. But
yeah, beyond pins, that transitions into what I put those pins on for the most part, which is hats.
Yes, I do see. I'm not even joking. This is the first time I've noticed just how many hats you've had.
Well, I own far more hats than anyone else I know. Nobody else owns as many hats as I do. And I think I'm also the only person who has spent as much money on individual hats.
For me, it was beanies. I just never fully committed. Again, now that I'm going to have my own room, I'm so scared, dude. I'm scared of the coming, of what's going to happen.
Yeah, nah. I have mostly baseball hats and flat brims. I have a couple beanies, but I'm not a beanie guy for the most part.
I'm more of a beanie guy and brims, but...
Mm-hmm. But I do love wide brim hats, mostly because of, again, working out in the field, so to speak.
Fair.
So my current most expensive hat is my $130 kangaroo leather hat.
The one that I was here for when it was delivered, right?
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, this one is my pride and joy, and it is literally my favorite hat.
Yeah, that's why you spent the money that you did.
Oh, yeah. 100% worth it. Go look up Kakadu Traders. They sell Australian clothing. I bought a lot of things from them. It was a 4th of July sale, which is the only reason that I spent as much as I did. And then after that, they sent me a $25 gift code.
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
right.
Cool. I'm going to go buy a belt, too, now.
Weeb jackets. That's the other thing I buy, actually. Now that I think about it. You've seen my jackets.
I wouldn't call them weeb jackets. You got the Godzilla one, and...
I have the King Ghidorah one, the Monokuma one. You haven't seen my Robin one, I think. I have a Vault 111.
What do you mean I haven't seen your Robin one?
Have you seen my Robin one?
You wore it before any of the other ones. I remember when you got all of your newer ones.
That's right. That's right, because I was working with the kids at the time, and I had worn that one a lot at that point.
Yes.
Okay, that's right. I forgot, because I don't wear it that much anymore. I also have a Dead Space one that was horribly 3D printed, which is why I never wear it.
Yeah, but see, this is all not weeb stuff.
Yeah, but it will be. Once I settle in, the one place that I went to for it, which is called Drunk Monk.
Okay.
Once they reopen it again, because they're redoing everything because of COVID and everything,
mm-hmm.
They have fantastic designs.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're doing a lot of Japanese stuff, but also a lot of hero work, a lot of different types of things.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm 110% gonna jump back into.
Yeah.
When it happens, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. Sorry,
Yeah.
you just reminded me right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Back to hats. My other favorite hat is the one that I used to wear the most often, and now I don't wear it as much for preservation's sake, because it is my Agent Orange hat that I got signed by Mike Palm, who is the only... he's not the member, or he is the member of Agent Orange that you think of if you listen to the band at all. It's just there's basically no one else in the band. It's just constant rotating members, and as he's vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter, he tends to,
Has to stay.
might as well just be Mike Palm of the band.
Yeah.
But no, they're fantastic surf punk. Go listen to them. But I got it signed by him, and he gave me this cool story about where we live and all this kind of stuff that he talked about of visiting and everything. But
oh yeah, that's actually the first hat I think I ever saw you wore.
Again, that's the one that I wear the most.
I'm pretty sure you were wearing it when we went to the... No, I didn't meet you at the barbecue. No, did I meet you at the barbecue?
Yes.
Yes. Then you did wear it that day.
Yeah, I wear it. I wear it most often. It's my favorite hat. It was the most comfortable hat.
That's
now
right.
I can't wear it for preservation's sake because it's signed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so instead I replaced it with an Agent Orange beanie that I got. So I can wear that.
Yep.
But beyond hats, I also have stopped collecting Funko Pops because...
You do have a good amount of them, yes.
At this point I want to sell them.
Yeah.
Like, I want to keep the bare minimum because they take up too much space, and there's also the connotation that they've acquired that I'm like, I don't want to be that guy anymore.
I would definitely keep the Seto Kaiba one, the Bill one.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that I'm going to keep. Like, I have a lot of music ones, like Metallica, Weird Al, Kurt Cobain, ones like that. I have a couple of video game ones, but at this point, I'm like, yeah, I can sell, like, a lot of these that I don't really care about
I don't
anymore.
think you need the Overwatch ones.
Oh, yeah, no. The Overwatch ones are all limited edition ones. And again, had Overwatch not gone down the gutter, I'd still probably keep those. But yeah, no. I have a lot of them that I need to sell.
I need to see if they have an Ash Williams ones, which I'm pretty sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
They had them as a Nendoroid. You best believe I would have bought that like immediately.
Yeah. And then for the finishing move, so to speak, with what I collect...
This is the power move here.
This is the power move. It is records. I am
Yes.
hipster trash, and I do collect records.
Remember, I had talked to you about this for a hot minute because I had considered it, and I thought,
told you no, it's going to get expensive.
yes, I already have a bunch of other expensive hobbies that I don't need to pick up one last one.
So, I really enjoy music, as you may have guessed. Shocking.
Yes.
Shocking as it may be.
You did introduce me to a lot of good music.
Yes.
So I can...
So with all of that said, I decided, you know what, I'm going to collect records because anyone can argue, oh, vinyl is the superior quality of production and listening experience. It's not really. Like, you get a certain atmosphere of listening to an album all the way through.
So it's more of like
sitting.
a nostalgia thing?
Not even nostalgia, I'd just say an appreciation factor.
Okay, that's fair.
And with good speakers and stuff, you often get better bass than you do streaming.
Okay.
But that's about the only thing that it really has in terms of benefit, because it's an analog format and dust sucks, and so you got to clean them and all this other garbage.
Oof.
But I collect, video game music, all of my favorite bands, all of that, and I love it because I can display them on my walls, which is the greatest thing, is just swapping them out. You know what? I want to show off, like I have my video game vinyl with Cuphead and Red Dead and stuff like that.
Is this FTL?
No, that is Dead Cells.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I do have an FTL clock that is made out of a record.
That's actually really cool.
Yes, came from the Ukraine. I only found this out because Customs was like, "Hey, what's this?" And I'm like,
I mean, my Monokuma jacket came from China, so my dad made me throw it in the dryer immediately.
Don't want to get the coof, man.
Yeah, no, he was just like, like 30 minutes, and then he's like, it should be good.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
But with records, I will say that it gets to be the most expensive thing that I collect.
Yeah, I can see why, though.
I try not to buy used just because I like to keep the pristine quality of them.
Yeah, I mean, it increases the longevity, I think.
Yes, but I think the only record that I've spent $100 on was the Doom soundtrack, which is a 4-disc set, so it's like, by and large, vinyl is about $25 a record.
Yeah.
And I pulled up on Discogs because I like to catalog my entire collection. And I am currently sitting at a minimum value, which is, if I have the most bare bottom quality of anything, a minimum of $1,651.20.
Wow.
A maximum value of $4,001. That is how much I have probably spent on records. Not including the $300 record player or the high quality plastic sleeves that I buy for them, or any of the other things.
I just thought about it because we had talked about the possibility of me getting stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think the closest I ever got was getting the Persona 5 soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, and because that one sold out, it is like $200.
Yeah, but I decided not to because I also looked it up, and it's just... It's just the ambient tracks. It's not even the full thing. Which I'm just like, no, I'd rather get like the actual music.
Yeah. The other problem with records is that because they can produce them in limited quantities, there's often like limited edition stuff that I want to get, or things that are like, oh, this record hasn't been produced in years and years. Now it's going to be produced for the first time and it sells out. Because video game vinyl especially is produced in really limited quantities.
I remember you telling me.
Because I thought for a while, I want to get the Cuphead one. I'll wait till it goes on sale. It just sold out instead. And so instead of getting the rad 4-disc set, which looked amazing, I instead got the 2-disc set, which also sold out, which I'm glad that I bought.
I mean, you got something. That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, vinyl is stupidly expensive. Don't get into it. It's not worth it, but I love it. That's all I can say. But yeah, $4,000.
Yeah, look, man, we have our expensive hobbies. I'm not going to stop buying Nendoroids.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to build a shelf where I can just put them.
I'm sure.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah.
One day you'll come into my house, and the look of sheer disappointment that I'm going to get from my friends and family is going to fuel me and make me more powerful and just want me to buy more. Like, how much worse can I make this?
I'll just kill you.
At least let my collection get to 1,000 before you do it. Not 1,000 Nendos. Not 1,000.
I know.
That would be way too much. I would have to sell drugs in order to support a habit like that.
Jeez. But yeah, that's the problem is like I'm trying to save up for like bigger projects right now because I'm
always the worst.
I'm trying to get Ethernet put into the house. I'm trying to get save up for a living room PC to game on, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, I want this record. Oh man, it's gonna sell out though. Oh man, but I need to save money. This is garbage. Like, if work was giving me more hours, I'd feel a bit more comfortable. But when work just says, no, you just get to show up sometimes.
My rent is going to increase at least twofold once we move into this new place.
Yeah.
So I have to be a lot more...
frugal?
Yeah, because I do want to save up for another TV, like another speaker to some good set of headphones.
Yeah.
Which is going to help me in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm paying Aki with everything that we're doing, which isn't that much. Like, in small quantities, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I've probably paid her almost $300 now. So I'm going to be paying her a lot more in the coming months. But the other thing is, like, I also want to buy all this other stuff that's coming out. But I'm like, crap, dude. Like, what do I do? I could work on all this other stuff. Like,
man, forget consumerism. We're going to go live in the woods.
So I'm going to say something on the record here.
On the record.
I think YouTube is going to die within the next 10 years.
I hope so.
I think as a platform, it's gotten really hypocritical and awful.
Oh, yeah. Go listen to the new platform we're starting, vrtube.com, which is probably a real website, but I don't know what it is.
I'm really scared to look that up.
I hope it's not
because
adult videos.
A lot of the time, anything with the word tube besides YouTube.
That is true. Go listen to vrshizshow.com, which is a website that doesn't exist unless someone stole it and is going to try and exploit us for money.
Yes, all
who knows
that we make from this. Yes, clearly.
No, they're just going to exploit us for money for owning this site that we're not even going to get any benefit from.
I think so. If we could find an alternate platform to post all this stuff on, that's 100% what I would go with.
Yeah.
Because I do want to make money on the content that I eventually want to make,
mm-hmm.
or that I am attempting to make, but I just feel like YouTube has too many stopgaps at this point to effectively make anything anymore.
Yeah.
Which really sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Sucks, but what are you going to do, man?
Is what it is. Congratulations, we've gone on for the longest episode yet.
Is it 50?
Almost.
Sick.
We're just shy of 50, but as long as we keep talking and how we end this, it will hit 50.
Alright, so we should end it now.
We could. Or we can keep going. We gotta hit the 50-minute mark, man.
Do
rambling on about nothing.
That means more editing for you.
No, it doesn't. It's 30 seconds more editing. I'm just not gonna edit this section. This section is gonna be garbage, have garbage echo.
Okay. Well, we'll find something fun to talk about next week, I think. as we always do. I think we find some pretty decent topics to talk about.
Again, the show isn't for you, listener. It's for us to have fun discussions.
That is fair. It has allowed me to be a lot more open when talking, so it's definitely fun. But, do you want to...
Yeah, we'll call it.
All right. It's been fun. This is Vince.
This is your boy Richard. You have been listening to the VR Shiz Show, and we shall return next week with a brand new spanking episode.
And it will be probably slightly less longer than this, but let's be honest, still probably long.
We're going to record a 2-minute intro and then end it there, and that's the episode.
I would actually be willing to do that for a April Fool's one, but then have like 3 minutes of audio.
The greatest April Fool is an October Fool.
Okay.
Anyway, goodbye.